in the ether world. It's Coach Sandra, compassionate queen of straight talk, and I'm back with my Friday interview. Today, I'm really excited to be visiting. I don't call it an interview, I call it a conversation. My friend told me I talk too much for it to be an interview. So it's a conversation that I'm having today with Rambabu Atmakuru, and he's in India. He is also the founder of the 𝐲𝐿, yes, it has a small s, 𝐲𝐿 Global Foundation, teaching English for free in India and third world countries. I've been part of that for some time, but I'm going to let Rambabu talk about that. But Rambabu, you are Indian through and through. You took all of your education through your own native language, but somehow English had your attention. And so you said, quote, "Teaching English is my passion." Why?
Yeah.
Because with English comes a powerful way to advance in your life, career, and the world. Now, somehow or other, Rambabu, just explain who you are and why on earth did English get to be important to you right from the get-go. Rambabu, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Namaste from India. I am Coach Rambabu, founder and CEO of 𝐲𝐿 Global Foundation. I feel really honored and overjoyed to be a part in this conversation along with Coach Sandra Walks. Thank you so much. And I would like to share a bit about what I do on this foundation, and along with our one of the core committee member and advisory board committee member on this foundation, Coach Sandra Walks from Canada. See, English, it seems it's a simple language to all the people, but most of the Asian countries that is learning English has a big investment. Many private schools, they started with different names, different organizations for teaching, learning, exploring this language because it has a huge demand. So in India, we have 25 plus states, and we have 22 official languages which were well known by our Indian constitution. But we need a connectivity to speak one to another to understand. We use this connection or for bridge to connect each other. English nowadays, English has, as I mentioned, huge demand. It's a parent's demand, it's a public demand, even it's a professional demand.
Are you
Even if
telling
I complete my
how
post
many,
graduation,
Rambabu, how many states did you say are in India? How many provinces? How many areas? How many?
yeah, we have 29 states, 29
Okay,
states in India.
29 states, and each state has its own dialect, I guess. Does that mean
Yeah, not 29, not 29. 22 official languages was recognized by Indian constitution.
Oh my goodness. So what you're saying, if I'm understanding this correctly, is that English has become the common language or wannabe language so that Indians
Yeah,
can talk to Indians.
yeah. Even if I want to talk to Indian to another, being as an Indian to another Indian, for example, I would like to give one best instance, one example. I'm a
Please.
Telugu guy. My state name is Andhra Pradesh. My local language is Telugu. Telugu. So
Telugu.
my neighbor state is Karnataka. They speak Kannada. My other neighbor state is Tamil Nadu. They speak Tamil. And other state is Kerala. They speak Malayalam. And most of the north part of India, they speak Hindi. But I don't know Hindi. They don't know Telugu. But if I want to talk or share something with the North Indian people, I don't know Hindi. They don't know Telugu. But we need a connection That is the reason, and we use English as a lingua franca.
Oh my goodness. That really makes it clear, because I have traveled a lot of the world. So I get this. I was married to a Dutch family, and I understood dialects, how my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, when they met, couldn't understand each other, even though they were both from Netherlands, because of the dialect.
Exactly.
I had to learn to understand each other. And as I go through the world, I didn't realize, I knew India. I thought maybe had 3 or 4 languages. And I didn't realize that they were, I didn't realize that you couldn't understand one to the other. When I was in Germany, you would learn what they called High German, because they all had their dialects. But if you wanted to communicate, you learned the formal German, I guess, which they call the High German. But you're saying the high language in India with the 22 states and the 22 languages, the 22 languages, your high language that you can connect with has become English.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No wonder it's so important that what you chose to develop with the Share Every Global Foundation to teach English for free to the third world countries and all of India.
Yes.
No, that makes such a big difference to me, to understand you guys couldn't even talk to each other.
Yes.
So you learned Telugu because that's where you grew up, and you
Yeah.
obviously have a lot of education. If anyone wants to read the article, it gives your education as your master of English and your master in education, and you're a school assistant in a high school now. And it's a government school. So the government
Yes.
schools are different than private schools,
Yes.
with a lot of advantages. But out of all of that education, because you're the school assistant in physical science.
Yes.
So how did science and English get together, and how did that passion get lit in you, Rambabu? And I know from being involved with Share Every that your whole family and extended family are involved, which has made it happen.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Actually, physical science it's not a language like mathematics, geography, history, philosophy, physics. It's a completely subject. It's not a language.
Right,
But
right.
but when I was a young a school student, now I'm 40 plus. Uh, my age is. So when I was young,
You're
when I
still
was
young.
school, yes, yes. When I was school, thank you so much, and for making me young, feeling me young. And when I was a school student, and we didn't have English medium schools at all in my state. We had only one medium. That medium was Telugu only. But nowadays, even we can find in fingertips, if you want to find or observe any Telugu medium schools. If we find in my locality 100 private schools or 100 government schools, every school automatically changed into English medium. Even I want to teach mathematics in English language. I want to
Wow.
teach physical science in English language. I want to teach social studies in English language, except the particular languages like Hindi, English, or Telugu, or Marathi, or some other Indian language. Except the languages, other all the subjects I want to teach in English. That medium of instruction definitely would be English. If I am good at English speaking, I can reach out my students more, and I can get good recognition. Even I can serve to my students. So in one hand, I want to become expert in my particular teaching subject. In
Yeah.
another hand, I want to become expert or skilled in teaching or speaking and understanding English too. This is the key to get good rapport with between the teachers and the students. It helps
Well,
a lot.
you are
Yeah.
absolutely passionate about everything you do, and I think that's why I'm attracted to you. I mean, when you approached me to come and explore Share Every, there was
Yeah.
a passion that I could feel that said, this man's up to something. And you're saying this
Mhm.
woman's a little bit strange, but I think she's up to something. And I was your first native English speaking
Exactly. Exactly.
person. And the first thing I did, because you're doing it beautifully now, I kept saying, what did you say? What did you say? Slow down. I can't even listen that fast.
Yeah,
And
I can remember again and again from your first classes, and you told me many times, Rambabu, please slow down, slow down, slow down. But I was keep on talking and talking and talking. But thank you so much. Yeah,
so
please.
why did you, as you got into Share Every, well, let's go back. When did you start Share Every? Because you had it going, I think, 1 year before you met me. So how did
Yeah,
you kind of formulate Share Every?
yeah,
Obviously your passion for English,
yeah.
but there was more.
Yes, 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 yes. And see, I launched or started this foundation in 2020 January 11th, John 11th, and it was the first wave of Corona time, and all the schools and everything was shut down, and we had a huge free time, and we didn't know what to do, what not to do, and even governments are not allowing to go out because everything was closed and in quarantine and home quarantine. We are all inside the doors only, door
And
locked,
that was the whole
and
world, because when you were in
yeah, the whole
quarantine,
world.
we
You're
were
right.
in
The whole
quarantine.
yes, the whole
Yes.
world. And so at the time, I thought, I think this is the right time to learn something new, what we need, what we wish. And immediately I share my idea with another my colleagues, 4 or 5 people, and they said, yes, Rambabu, it's a good idea, why don't we do? Then immediately we started to join weekly, twice or thrice on conference call in WhatsApp, weekly, twice or thrice. And after 5 to 6 months, and we already completed or accomplished more than 100, conference sessions. And we would do by choosing a concept like this, we conversate or we did conversation and we shared our experiences and everything. That conversation helped a lot to grow ourselves in this particular language. And after that, one of my friend also suggested, why don't you start this audio sessions into video sessions? I told, I don't know how to start video sessions, and even I don't know the platform where I want to do. And he suggested me, yes, if you wish, and I'll give you how to start. And I learned everything. Even still, if I want to do something, any editing or any flyer, first I learn and I give to society.
Wow. I know when you get doing your graphics, they're just amazing. You just keep dreaming up ones. I come and speak probably 4 times a year, I guess it is, pretty much every
Yes,
quarter.
yes, yes,
Uh,
yes,
and you've always got a new poster made up, always. It's quite
yes,
amazing. Now, your daughter, I think, is involved, your brother, your cousin, your in-laws.
yes, yes,
So you really, I think that's probably uh, a big piece of why it glues together, so that you can expand around it. Because any business, and a foundation, even though it's no nonprofit, still has to be like a business. And so you need a core of people around you that you can trust, that are committed, that are passionate. And that is what I see you have as your main core. You know, the
yeah,
Jagadish and your daughter, and I just don't have them all, that you've got contacts here, cousins or whatever, in
yes,
the
yes,
States
yes,
and Mexico,
yes.
all together. And that's a beautiful thing. They're spread all over the world. How did your conference talk go to develop to the next stage beyond just talking?
Yeah. See, actually, and I know whatever I uh, bring onto the table, before that, I dream it first. As you mentioned, while designing even the graphic also, even if you are the keynote speaker for this Sunday, or 1 week or 10 days before, just whenever I find a lonely time, and I'll take your image or your skill and your memories, everything into my mind, and I'll think, oh, how I want to design the graphic, because what she's going to give this Sunday to this foundation or even to the audience. And my suggestion to even to the audience, and I'm not expert in by doing all these things, but if we think so, we will become an expert. The
Beautiful.
passion, the dream, everything will make us strong to grow and to learn something new. But we should do. And many people even ask, Rambabu sir, I have been traveling with Share Every or with some other foundation or platform for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but I didn't find any sort of change in my conversation, in my speaking skill. And
Okay.
what might be the reason? What might be the reason? This kind of questions I face every now and then. But my answer is, definitely there would be the missing line. You should find out what might be the reason, how you are planning. So there is a statement in English: without plan, you plan to fail. There are two different plans. You must plan. The first plan is you should dream and you should work accordingly. The dreaming is one plan, and the executing the dream is another plan. If you don't go through these two plans, definitely you plan to fail 100%.
Wow.
So every meeting and everything, and many people ask me, Rambabu, why, how you get all these ideas, advanced meetings, formal meetings, and also even to the panel members, you are giving beautiful names, because I think more. I give all the time, 24 by 7, whenever after my school time. And if I reach 6 o'clock or 6:30, even I help to my family, my kids, my wife, or I do all the household works, and immediately I exclusively supplement my time sincerely to this foundation, because I have a passion. I want to give back something to society.
And you know the
This is how I
beautiful
do.
thing about passion, and I know that you know what I'm talking about here. The beautiful thing about your passion or my passion to live is that we get just as much back from doing it. Our lives are richer by being involved. So in the giving, the giver also receives.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful, it's the symbiotic coming together of
Yes.
doing what we love. I know there's so many books. Do what you love and the money will follow. Well, I'm still waiting for the money to follow because there's pieces of action that I need to take that I haven't uncovered yet. And I remember I'm usually the one that pokes a hole in whatever it is you're doing. And when you started with the memberships, you were going to have, well, just one membership, pay once. I said, that's not sustainable. If it's $10 US or in
Yeah.
whatever rupees in India so that it's
500.
available,
500. Yes.
500 rupees in India so that it's available to everyone, even the poor, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we said, well, that's nothing for us here in North America, so $10 US. But you were going to discharge it the once. Well, that wouldn't sustain anything. You can't grow if you don't have regular cash coming in.
Yeah.
So I said, that makes no sense. And you went back to the drawing board and said, yes, we have to do it annually.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that is the kind of sharing that you and I have done. And still, I have to apply it and find my way as well. So it's important for me to always be in conversation with people like yourself, because there's always
Yeah.
that little gem that falls. I'm just going to check back here with the notes. You've been teaching in the government schools. What's the difference between a government school and a private school? You've been in the government school since 2010.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a huge difference between the government school and private school. In government school, everything will be free, and governments provide free textbooks, free uniform, free midday meal afternoon. They provide lunch, and even nowadays they are providing, or even they are helping the parents if they are poor parents, and the government started some different welfare schemes. They are empowering the parents by supporting even financially also, but
Wow.
we don't get any sort of benefit in the private school. Everything we want to buy books, we want to buy this and that, and everything is so expensive. But in India, 70% of population live in rural areas. Only 30% of people live in urban regions. So most of the people are BPL, we call a below poverty line. There is a financial line according to government, and the majority people they live, and definitely the welfare schemes, the empowering schemes is definitely needed by the governments and the government support, and everything will provide free in the government schools. But private schools, even they give good education, they execute or they design new tube plans like government schools also, but and they give a best quality and even than the government, to be frank. But governments also trying their best to attain or make or to serve the society as their best. But we must appreciate our local government this year, I think couple of years back, and introduced complete English medium education in all the government sectors. Definitely we should appreciate. The reason is governments is recognizing or noticing the importance of learning English. Even I'd like to give an example. And there is my cousin brother. He completed his graduation in engineering, and he completed his education or graduation with 80 plus percentage distinction, and he waited 4 years to settle in his job only because of lack of communication skills. Whenever he attended the interviews, and they didn't select because you are poor in this, you are poor in this, you are do not have this kind of quality to talk to people, to communicate with the language, and this is a business kind, definitely mostly depend on the business type. So, and he joined in different organizations, he learned uh, language, English language, to speak or to understand, and he took 4 years. Now he settled in a big company. So because even if I want
Wow.
to work, and even with good high degree, if I want housekeeper, I need a minimum communication. That is the importance. That is the reason governments are recognizing, governments are valuing, governments are insisting to introduce this particular global language. And another reason is, in olden days, most of the knowledge stored in various languages, but nowadays the whole language or the whole knowledge or the inventions or discoveries, everything stored or saved in English language. If I want to understand, and I must know English. If I want
Wow.
to understand and teach children, I must know English. And so even the technology, even the public sector, the government sector, so everywhere is English. So that is the reason I started, and I we started this foundation to identify the people from rural area, not just in India, from all over the world, and we will give free of service and free of cost. And as per my experience, many people they say, if I want to learn or become a good speaker, you want to practice in front of the mirror, you want to read everyday new English newspaper, you want to watch English channels or English movies, cartoons. Yes, that's right. But without speaking, how you can speak? Many speakers or many teachers, they know grammar, but grammar does not help to speak. Whenever we learn to speak, then only we can speak to the people and we can understand to the people. So in that way, �ШARE conducts various programs and various projects for giving speaking training, how to speak or to come overcome the stage fright or fear of speaking, or we help the people to become a good listening or good listener. So there is a statement in English, a good listener is a great learner. So whenever we listen, if you listen more, definitely you can speak more. So this is how we make plan all the activities and sessions, and we invite. So every kind of all kind of ingredients are there, and there are the classes for basic level, there are the classes for grammar people, there are the classes for high profile people to listen great, or by choosing or selecting good messages or topics from the people like you, even from outside India. So that is the reason we mix up everything and we give back to society on free service.
This is really good because uh, I struggle with, I don't teach English second language, but I certainly am passionate about helping people who are intermediate to advanced in their English understanding to speak fluently, to get enunciation, pronunciation, have a context and a flow. And it was through you that I did that class where there were what, 4 or 5 ladies and yourself. And it was a matter of bringing in topics of interest to the ladies. Some said, well, we need to know more about money. We like music, this one like this and that, and integrating that so that the flow would occur. Has that had a lasting change for them? Because that class was over a series of, I think, 8 sessions we ended up. Did that have a lasting impact because they were doing?
Yeah, definitely, coach. Whenever and we do something by adding your own passion or your own experiences, definitely it will give a lasting experience and it will store in our long memory. There are two different memories, short memory and long memory. Whatever we do with more and more interest or commitment by adding our own experiences, definitely it will store in long memory, and even people also get benefit more and more. So that is the reason I follow one a beautiful statement, what I love and what I follow, and do what you love and love what you do.
Yes.
This will
Yes.
definitely will give you long lasting memory. Yes.
And not only that, it's not only long lasting peace, there's excitement to life then. I know
Yeah.
different times people say, Sandra, where do you get your energy? I get my energy same place Rambabu does, because both of us are on to something. We're up to something all the time. And our brains are going, oh. So when our brains are going, how do we expand? You can't worry about how terrible the world is.
Yeah.
And I think when we affect the world with there's another way, hopefully we're collecting more and more people to understanding it doesn't have to be mean and
Yeah.
nasty. Life can be grand and full of love. I mean, our countries right now are having that little bit of friction. You and I aren't having any of that friction. That's a whole different thing,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes. I agree. I
So,
agree.
yeah, we've covered off the purpose, and you like to learn, share, and care. Now, you have, just give us quickly the statistics of how many, you had some numbers in there of where you're at right now. You have a growing membership of over 200 coaches, 10,000 and so on. Where are you
Yeah.
right now and where do you want to go?
Yeah. Definitely. See, coach, and we started as I told you, as I told at the very beginning of our conversation, we started with 5 people. And right now, 𝐴REVRY has over 250 valuable and well experienced voluntary coaches, speakers, mentors like Coach Sandra works on this 𝐴REVRY Foundation. And that is a huge asset. and what we bagged and gained with our sincere efforts. And more than 10,000 or 12,000 followers on social media has been following. And we reached out, and we have audience and speakers from 60 plus countries, over 60 plus countries. And we have speakers from Toastmasters like DTM whole rank, and over 50 plus Toastmaster, DTM Toastmaster uh, rankers. And we have speakers from John Maxwell, and we have speakers from Les Brown Academy, and we have speakers from Bob Proctor School, and from various fields. But only the thing is, whenever you do something unique, whenever you do something not just unique, whenever you do something or give something honestly, the world observes everything. The world follows.
Yes.
You need not worry anything about anything. Even each and every drop of your sweat will count at the end. Maybe
Beautiful.
the benefit is not the matter. Maybe the benefit won't be in the form of money, won't be in the form of a position, and whatever shape would be, at the end definitely you feel happy, and you will stand in unexpected level by giving. That is the key in giving rather than taking.
That's
Whenever
true.
you give something, you have right to take something, otherwise zero.
Yeah. And that's important as well. Whenever I give, I can expect something in return.
Yes,
And
yes.
but whether I'm in prison with the inmates and they say like, why do you come? I say, I get more out of this than you guys. And of course they know that they get more out of it than I do, because we're all open and ready to learn wherever we are. And I love being involved with Share Every, and I'm also in a Toastmaster club that has now 18 countries involved in the one club. I love cultures and travel, and
Yeah.
so Share Every was a kind of a natural fit for me as well. And I was in India for 3 weeks, and hopefully we'll get back. I went to a
Sure, sure. And even
Toastmaster meeting in
I'm
India.
I'm expecting, I want to meet you in person in India very soon. Hope we will.
Well, next year is for Uganda. 2024 is Uganda.
Okay.
So over your next 10 years, you want to reach and educate 1 million learners?
Yeah, that is our target. Hope, we wish we will do that in coming 10 years. We will educate or make the people aware over 1 million. We will.
Wow. And providing, oh, and I'm, of course, I'm a woman and I understand very well how women have to really battle.
Mhm.
And it gets so exhausting to have to always see your way through. And it might be less visible now in North America, but it's still real.
Mhm.
And in India and many countries around the world, it's just right out in the open. If you're a girl, you're not worth it. If you're a woman, do what you're told. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's such a struggle. So I'm really happy that you're focusing on education, skill development, and empowerment of girls and women. You have daughters, so of course you want them to not be put down in some ridiculous
Yes.
space.
Yes.
And focusing on providing free education, the practice, even including LGBTQ. I always say an XYZ because I lose track of all of those, but you're including everyone.
Yes.
So Rambabu, here we come to 34 minutes. I like to wind this up a little bit. What are your closing words about this whole global foundation affair and what it means to you? And yeah, how would you like to close this out before we say goodbye?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would like to give two things. I would like to share two things at the end. Thank you so much. And we all come onto the earth we all will go at certain point or certain time. But if you just come and go, every insect, every bird, every animal come and go. But you want to give something, you want to give, as we mentioned, long lasting impressions, even a minimum 2 to 3 generations want to talk about you. So that
Oh,
is why, and leave your footsteps wherever you go by showing your maybe skill, your capacity, your authenticity, and your uniqueness, or or whatsoever it is, and give something. Definitely, as I told, world follows world, watching everything. And the second thing, regarding Share Every Global Foundation, and we have a tag for this foundation, that is, your vision is our mission. If you have any vision to become a flawless speaker, or effective speaker, a public speaker, and whatever name it is, if it is your vision, we have a plan with our Share Every mission. Share Every definitely makes you happy by insisting, by making or fulfilling your desire with whatever vision it is, and we have a plan and mission to fulfill.
that is beautiful.
Please.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rambabu. I'm so happy that you found me, and so happy that you insisted that no, I'm up to something. And there we came together and we met in your Share Every.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
definitely. Definitely, coach. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share something about not just the foundation. Share Every is not mine. Share Every is for the people, for society, and for making a part in your conversation. I'm waiting to sh- share more and more in coming conversation sessions. Hopefully, I may get chance, and you will definitely will invite me. I hope so. Thank you.
And you do Rendezvous with Rambabu.
Yeah, it's a podcast. We already
That
did one interview, one episode.
you know what that is. Rambab no Rambab Rendezvous with Rambabu. You have to say that fast 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I utter like this, rendezvous with Rambabu. So because there are different accents, in American accent it sounds different, in British accent it sounds different, in other accents it sound different, but I don't know what to pick, but
Oh, well,
I
you should
follow.
pick rendezvous because it's French. It's a French word, so you need to pick the French pronunciation.
Oh, definitely. Thank you
So,
so much for the
so that's the
suggestion.
rendezvous with Rambabu.
Yes, definitely. I use. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Yes,
We'll be back. Everyone, put in some comments. And if you're
thank
interested
you.
in getting involved with Share Every and helping with English, Rambabu is waiting for you. And if you want to learn how to speak up, I'm waiting for you.
Thank you.